moment. Now, to what happened today. Let's talk about the politics first. Congressman, were you satisfied that the needle was moved today on the recognition of the people involved here, including the Inspector General, that there's more to tell and there is an obligation for more to be told?
As you know, I have to be very careful what was talked about in the skiff, but I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 4. I'd say the needle moved. It was bipartisan. You know, my dear friend Jared Moskowitz, AOC was in there, Luna, the whole gang. We had one time we had 16 congressmen in there, and these were people that normally you wouldn't see. And the reason they're involved is because people like your other guest, who I'd really like to hear from him tonight more than me, they have continuously pushed this issue and gave it validity. Because somebody like me, the 435th most powerful member of Congress, that ain't moving the needle. But your other guest, he moves the needle.
And I want to talk to him because he also has a public service announcement about why this matters for everybody who wants to fly around as part of our lifestyle. But, Ned, what I want to know is, what do you think was the biggest takeaway from today about when you'll start to be able to learn what's being done and what is the fruit of all the money that's being put into this?
Well, unfortunately, since it was in the skiff, I can't tell you what the big issue was, but I will tell you that it provided, I'll say, some validity to what's been said. That's about as far as I can. I apologize, but that's what the skiff is about, and I need to honor that commitment. But we are going to have more hearings, and what it really did was energize people in Congress, I think, that are very frustrated and heard people like myself. Oh, now you're trying to one-up me. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's right.
He's probably.
I got 3 of them. I got 3 of them in here, by the way. I got 3. All right, there you go. All right.
That's neurotic, but I'm not going to bring that crazy here. But
I don't know what she was eating. So let me bring Graves in here. So one of the reasons that you think that this was really important is that, one, we got validity that Grush, the whistleblower, is a made man. He is somebody who's to be respected. The Inspector General said the same. Now, what does that mean to you, and what do you want to see next, both for the political but practical implications here when you look at it, Ryan?
Yeah, well, Tim, thanks for saying those very kind words, by the way, as well. But for the practical implications of this, I think this is going to bring more representatives into the conversation, which is going to just enable more and more legislation to come forward, much like this pilot reporting bill that's going to enable more data and a wider understanding of just how prevalent this is. We still don't know what exactly is going on, where to look for these objects, and pilots are reporting them on a regular basis. So for me, it's a relief that they'll finally, hopefully, have the tools to be able to report this without fear of repercussion.
Please, with all due respect, what do you make of suggestions that even though you were at the highest echelon of our training for pilots, that people say, yeah, Graves doesn't know what he was seeing. He was looking at balloons. He was looking at Canadian geese, and he wasn't sure what they were. He wasn't seeing anything that's a real UAP. There's nothing really to be concerned about. What's your response?
Well, I would ask them to talk to the dozens and dozens of pilots that have also seen the same objects as me, not only off the eastern seaboard, but also off of commercial airlines across the United States, as far west as Hawaii. So this isn't just Ryan Graves. This isn't just one squadron. This is commercial airliners, military airliners, and general aviation that are seeing this across the country.
And also, you made a very interesting point that I think is going to be interesting to the congressman also. So there's all this talk about a specific type of airplane that's being grounded because there's some safety concerns. And you said safety concerns. If you're worried about being safe in the air, you better take what's flying around our planes a lot more seriously than just the planes we're in. How so?
Well, it goes to the point that we've had with the doors. So if doors were falling off planes, we would expect that there'd be a reporting mechanism so that the problem could be taken care of. It's a bit of a shame that the FAA has been ignoring reports of UAP and UFO for so long, but now they're not going to have the ability to ignore these reports any longer.
Can I address that?
Go ahead, Ned.
That was the original piece of legislation that I had filed the FAA would have to report those sightings to Congress, and it was blocked, remember, by the intelligence community, not the committee. And now two other congressmen are bringing the exact legislation back. Let's see where it goes. Now we know who's against us. Let's dare them to block it this time.
What would you put as a timeline for when you get an opportunity to hear some of what the government has done with these hundreds of millions of dollars in looking for what's flying around our airspace?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah, first.
Yeah.
See how much you duck the question, then I'll go to Ryan.
I don't think they're going to give us anything. They're going to fight it tooth and nail. If we get it tomorrow or a year from now, I'd be shocked, just because they're going to fight us. They're going to fight us tooth and nail. And this is whack-a-mole.
But the point is, Ryan, when do you fight? You fight because you have something to fight about, right? If this was a canard, if this was all nonsense, they would say, here, fine, you want to see what we're dealing with here? Here's what it is. But all these classifications, all this money, all these different programs, what does that make very obvious to you, Ryan?
Well, that there's something there, right? And this is the same conversation and same rhetorical question that we've been essentially talking about for the past several years. And now I'm having the same conversation next to Tim here, a sitting congressman who's asking the same questions. And so to your point is that clearly there's a there. And with the good work that Congressman Burchett here has been doing and others within the UAP caucus and within the Senate, the hope is that we're going to be able to have more transparency across this disclosure process. But we also can't forget about the discovery process that we can do out in the open sector as well. And so I encourage commercial pilots, general aviation pilots to continue reporting this. I encourage industry, academia, and scientists to continue to look at this so we can better understand what's going on, regardless of what the government wants to share.
Ryan Graves, thank you so much for being brave enough, and people roll their eyes. This is not easy to do. People come after you for it. They think it's a breach of protocol, and some of them think that you're doing something dangerous, and they threaten you right back. And I know that, and I appreciate you taking the chances anyway. And thank you very much, Congressman, for staying on it. We make the reciprocal promise. If you stay on it, we will continue to give it a platform. And thank you for bringing the pooch to raise awareness to the need of needing to adopt the dogs that we're doing later in the show.
Hey, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and News Nation, Chris. If y'all hadn't have busted this thing wide open, we'd still be twiddling our thumbs. So thank you, brother. I appreciate that more than you know.
Well, as the ugliest member of the staff likes to say, let's get after it. We'll keep doing it. Have a good weekend, gentlemen, and thank you very much. And I can't believe how much better behaved your dog was than mine. This was a tough night for me, I got to tell you that. All right, gentlemen, be well. See you, Roscoe. Best-looking member of the family.